200 quid's worth. Incredible.
Do you just want to tell us your name and where you're from?
Yes, my name is Michael Hilton, and I am pretty ancient. Go on, ask questions.
What influenced you to play? Like, was it your family or?
Yes, definitely. My mother was a pianist, and my father played brass instruments and had a very fine tenor voice. This is a lovely old piano. Oh, that's enough of that.
We just get a good explanation of like what was your career? Was it being an organist around? Was that how you pretty much made a living?
Well, you know, first of all, being a schoolmaster, really,
Yeah.
and teaching music. But actually, when I went to Bushy, the previous chap who had my job had been there for years, and he'd always wanted an organ. And he was very bitter because they built an organ for me, which was rather nice. That really was.
How old was this one?
210 years. Regency. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ah. Ooh, can't reach the sustain. Revoltingly out of tune. Really is. It's terrible. Yes, yes. It should be tuned, actually. Almost every single school I went to closed. Whether that was my fault or not, I don't really know, but I started off at St Wilfrid's Voluntary Primary School, which is just down the road, and then I got a scholarship, as they called it then, to Brighton Grammar School, and that's now closed. It's a sixth form college. And then I was practicing for a solo in St Wilfrid's Church in Haywards Heath, and the headmaster of the local public school came along and heard me and said, "Has that boy's father got any money?" And I think the vicar said, "Yes, he's not short of a bob or two." And that was my downfall. I got the top scholarship to a music scholarship to Ardingly. I had to do national service, and I was the pianist of the Royal Army Service Corps Staff Band, and I discovered also a garrison organist, and I was so well off then because we got paid for every gig we did, and I then went to the local cinema, the Ritz, and saw the magnificent Wurlitzer organ and was paid £2 a time for playing it, and free cinema seats for any of my friends, and that was really magnificent. Really enjoyed that. After that, by that time I went in for a scholarship, Royal College of Organists scholarship to the Royal Academy of Music, and spent 4 very happy years there. And then, yes, I got my first job, and probably the best job, which was the director of music of the Royal Masonic School. It's got a hell of a power. What, when I started? Yes. For some reason, I don't know why, but they stopped me learning the organ until I was about 16. But the idea was that for some reason it ruined your piano touch to play the organ. Absolute rubbish, absolute nonsense. Really didn't. Oh yes, that was quite interesting. At Ardingly, the chaplain thought that I was absolutely brilliant, and he wrote to a very famous pianist, a man called Solomon. He was advertised just as Solomon, and he wrote to him and asked if he would listen to me playing. And I remember he said, he lived in St John's Wood, and he said, I never listened to young pianists, but your letter was so eloquent, I decided in this case I would. And so I came to him and played my pieces, etc. And he said, how much practice do you do? And I said, about an hour a day, sir. And he said, you've done very well for your hour a day. By this time, you should know the entire repertoire. And do you play anything else? I said, well, I have just started organ lessons. He said, stick to that. And then my piano professor at the academy said he had no right to say that. But there we are. Oh, it's playing up. Ah! Ugh. So ghastly. Can't think what's gone wrong. Why is that not working? I haven't played this for ages.
That's okay. It's quite interesting watching you try and...
Yeah. No, something's gone completely bozzwonk with it. Yes, in 1996, I had a stroke, and so that rather curtailed my playing. So completely paralysed on the right-hand side. Not pleasant. Now, this is my pride and joy. It really is. Oh, horrible, horrible. That was ghastly.
Wow.